All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started with the Juvenile Justice Committee meeting. The first item on the agenda is going to be Chairman Jay Collins, House Bill 442. We are working from LC 480337. Mr. Collins.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, Madam Chair. I bring before you today House Bill 442. It's a pretty simple bill. Many constituents and folks throughout the state of Georgia experience a divorce where custody is an issue and quite frankly can be a very tough task to deal with.
Mhm.
So as right now, as it stands, parents who divorce, there's a parenting plan that's involved where you have things that are considered as a child's education, health, extracurricular activities, and religious upbringing. I dare say that most people here in this committee today have a telephone. And on that telephone, there's probably some social media apps. I think as we progressed as a society, the management of social media for our children was not really an issue back when this legislation was first proposed. And now as we have evolved, that has become a real issue for parents and parenting plans for our young people. And this bill just simply adds in a parenting plan the consideration of management of social media for our young people.
Mhm.
That's all the bill does, and I'd be happy to stand for any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Representative Collins. Members of the committee, do you have any questions? What number are you, Mary Margaret? Chairman Oliver. 6.
I just want to say that in 100% of my domestic relation cases, social media is an issue of conflict, and this is a very helpful bill.
Okay.
Would be very helpful.
Thank you, Chairman Oliver. There is a representative via Zoom that would like to speak.
Yes, it's Representative Kendrick. Are you calling on me?
Yes, ma'am. Representative Kendrick.
Could you give an example of like what type of issues require social media management to be put into the parenting plan?
Okay, so Representative Kendrick has asked what kind of issues have come up regarding social media. Is that correct, Representative Kendrick? We had some issues hearing you.
Yes, I'm just trying to get an example for context because I don't do this type of law. So I'm just wondering what types of social management issues are coming up.
Okay, all right.
That's
Chairman
a really
Collins?
good question. From what I've been told, in a parenting plan, a custodial parent could be awarded the right to oversee extracurricular activities and have the say on what the child is doing as far as extracurricular activities or religious activities. Maybe the custodial parent that has primary custody, doesn't want little Johnny or little Sarah to be on TikTok or to be on Facebook or Instagram. And maybe another parent is okay with that. This addresses that issue and allows there to be a plan and a cohesive agreement between parties for the benefit of the child.
Okay,
And
thank you, Chairman Collins. Representative Kendrick, do you have any additional questions?
Nope, that was it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any others on?
That's it.
Okay, seeing no more questions from the committee, what is the will of the committee? There is a move to pass from Chair Oliver. Is there a second? Okay, there is a second for to pass House Bill 442. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Chairman Collins.
I have to go present a bill in another committee, Madam
I'm-
Chair. So
I certainly appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna go get the sign up sheet.
I'll get it for you.
Okay, thank you. Oh, no, I have to get. Oh, thanks. Oh, wow, a lot of people signed up to speak. 242. Okay, people signed up to. People signed up to speak on 242. There is no 242. There's a 272. So was that what, Mr. Norris, was that what you were, okay, you wanted 272? And Deborah? Okay, you wanted to speak on 272, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I've not recognized you to speak. I was
Oh,
just,
I'm sorry.
I'm just clarifying. Everybody put 242 as the bill number, and that's not, we're not hearing 242. So I was just trying to get some clarification. So thank you. The next bill before the committee is House Bill 274. That is my bill. So I will just present the bill from the chair. This just basically aligns our juvenile court judges with the other judges who do alternative sentencing courts, such as accountability court division, such as treatment court, family treatment court, mental health court, veterans court, mental drug court division. So there are other, are alternative sentencing courts within our juvenile courts. We give our superior and state court judges who are doing that a supplement. So this would just bring our juvenile court judges in alignment with those, with the supplement. It has gotten a thumbs up from the chair of appropriations. It will go into effect though. There is no effective date. So, but there, I'm going to change section 2. There will be an effective date of July 1, 2022. Okey doke. Any questions from the committee? Seeing none, what is the will of the committee? There is a motion to pass from Representative Cantrell. Is there a second? There's a second from Representative Hutchinson. All those in favor, so there's a motion to pass. There is an amendment that I will make. In section 2 will become shall be effective July 1, 2022. And section 3 will become all laws and parts of laws in conflict with this act are repealed. So that is the amendment. I'm sorry, what? There's a move from Chair Oliver. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second from Representative Cantrell. All those in favor of the amendment, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Our members on the Zoom. Any opposed? Okay, all right. Motion, bill passes. House Bill 272 LC 480312 as amended by the juvenile court, by the juvenile. Okay, I'm being told by my policy advisor that was the vote for the amendment, and we need to call the question on the bill. So all those in favor of passage of House Bill 274 LC 480312 as amended by the Juvenile Justice Committee, all those in favor of passage of the bill, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, members. I appreciate it. The next issue before us is, I'm going to call House Bill 272 LC 48037-5S. It will have some further amendments. There will be a rules amendment to allow for the implementation committee needs to make some, there needs to be some changes there. But I will make those in the rules as a rules committee sub. Everybody has, I feel like I've talked this bill to death. We've all heard from all the development, the psychology development folks. We've heard from folks who've initiated this measure in other states. So I'm not going to laboriously go through the bill. I'm happy to stand for any questions that the committee members might have. So I'm going to give y'all an opportunity just to kind of look through it, because it is a sub, and look through it. And I'll stand for questions after we hear from Deborah Nesbitt from ACCG.
Madam Chair, thank you. As I've stated before in front of this committee, philosophically, we don't have an issue with changing the jurisdiction, the age jurisdiction. Our concern is more resources at the local level to take care of the additional caseload, and for the accountability courts that I'm sure will be implemented as a result of some of this legislation. So we didn't see any additional resources in the bill at the local level. There are already a backlog of cases, and there are no resources forthcoming for programs or anything else to deal with these children. So that is the reason for our opposition. It is not philosophical. It's not which age is better to go to which court. It's really about the resources.
Thank you. Somebody close that door. It got a lot quieter and a lot nicer whenever that door is closed. I appreciate that, Commissioner. Okay. Does the committee have any questions for Ms. Nesbitt? Seeing none, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next person, Mr. Norris.
Thank you, Chair Lady.
Good to
members
see
of
you.
the committee. I guess they're spread out in the room here.
They're spread out throughout the room, and there's
and-
several that are on Zoom.
Yes,
So
thank you for this opportunity to come back and speak to you about this issue. Our position, the sheriff's position, hasn't changed on the matter of moving it to 18. There are a number of reasons that we've spoken in the past. This age group is an age group that commits a lot of crime. I think later on through the process, we'll hear from some data out of GCIC on the exact numbers, maybe around 5,000 or so 17 to 18-year-olds committed offenses last year to get arrested. About half of those were felony offenses, and about 200 of those were the 7 deadlies. So we are talking about a significant population. The sheriffs, of course, realize that policy is directed by this General Assembly and our governors, and they're going to certainly subscribe to that policy. But we just hope that at some point we can delay implementation of this to accommodate for state resources and also for local resources. There's a lot of value in accountability courts. We particularly favor mental health courts. We think those are as effective as any. But accountability courts for the last 8 years have cost sheriff's offices in counties a lot of resources that we really don't have. We can't hire anybody in a lot of places in this state. The addition of additional accountability courts will create a local burden on our taxpayers. It's not that they don't want to do it, but they are strapped right now with resources, and accommodating the needs of additional accountability courts is going to be problematic in a lot of places. Final thing, thank you for including us on the implementation stage of this policy. I'm willing and happy to answer questions.
okay, members of the committee, do you have any questions? Chairman Oliver.
Mr. Norris, there is a recent case and decision, a certified class in DeKalb County Jail in relation to provision of special education services that inmates are entitled to up to age 21. Does that class action include your other 159 jails?
I'm unfamiliar, Representative, but you know how the law works better than I, and you would believe that it would eventually extend down. And of course, those resources are not available either.
Well, wouldn't it be true, sir, that since you are obligated to provide special education services to inmates up to age 21, that the transfer of 17-year-olds to DJJ would remove that legal responsibility from the jail and put it in a certified school system, which is DJJ has a certified school system? Wouldn't that be to your advantage?
It would be my belief that you are correct, and certainly it would be my belief that it would eliminate the cost to local property taxpayers. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chairman Oliver. Representative Cantrell.
Mr. Norris, I'm trying to understand the opposition to the bill. If I heard you right, tell me if I'm missing it, okay? You're saying that already there's a whole lot of crime going on in that age group. So if we add an additional year, then it just gets even bigger for that particular jurisdiction.
What I'm trying to say is if you include that population under the jurisdiction of the juvenile court, that number of people would then be adjudicated by the juvenile court and the juvenile justice system in Georgia. And there's likely not enough resources to
So it
handle.
overwhelms them.
Yes.
But they're currently being adjudicated at the other level right now. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Representative Cantrell. There is someone on the, who has called in, who has a question. Please identify yourself to the committee.
They don't have a question. They said they don't have a name listed, so I'm not able to get them on the roll for.
Okay. Oh, can the person that's on the phone just identify yourself? Okay, never mind. They will remain anonymous. This bill is supported by a lot of organizations. GACTL and the executive director, Jill Travis, have been especially supportive and helpful with regards to the crafting of the bill. And also the bill is supported by the Southern Center for Human Rights. So it's also supported by several organizations that are here and present. Polly McKinney with Voices for Georgia's Children, and several others that are here. Does anybody, now that we've heard from both people that wanted to speak, thank you, Mr. Norris, appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions for the author of the bill? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Hutchinson. Oh, I'm sorry. What number are you? Okay.
I don't have a question. I just have a statement. I just wanted to thank you for bringing this again. I know COVID disrupted us last year, but this is such a great bill. And as a parent of a 17-year-old boy, not that he gets arrested, and not that he can go anywhere because he's been locked up in his room for almost a year, but this is really significant. And the case that I think of is the Khalif Browder case in New York. He was arrested when he was 16 for a crime he ultimately proved he did not commit. He was in Rikers for 3 years. When he was ultimately released, he killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's an extreme case, but I think it highlights why this is necessary. 16-year-olds do not belong in the general prison population, and that's not something you can even fix with ongoing mental health. So I just want to applaud you for that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Chair Oliver.
I also very happy to see this come again. The changes from last year is what I'm trying to absorb. The change is the creation of an implementation committee, which is a good idea. I think
Yes,
that's a
ma'am.
really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
The implementation date, that's what I'm trying to figure out. It looks like the implementation date is when? Is it when the committee says it is, or when would it be?
It should be January 1st. I will add that. So we will have, I'm glad you caught that. I appreciate that. Because otherwise it would be on the governor's signature if it's not specified.
The committee starts on line 45 of May 2021. Is it your preference that the implementation date be 6 months after that or a year after that?
The kind of go live date, so to speak, is going to be January 1, 2022. Because that's why the implementation committee stands abolished on December 31st. So hopefully over the last 7 months, we can kind of get all our ducks in a row. So all right. Are there any further questions from the committee? All right, seeing none, what is the will of the committee on House Bill 272 LC 480375S?
I move do pass, Sheila Jones.
Okay.
Second, Representative
Representative
Kendrick.
Representative Jones has a motion to pass, as well as Representative Chairman Oliver, and Darshan had a Representative Kendrick, sorry. Representative Kendrick had a second. All those in, okay, so now I need to do the motion, or I need to do the amendment. I would like to move that section 6.1 become 6.2, and 6.1 become this shall be effective January 1st, 2022. Okay, there is a move and a second for the amendment. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? Okay, motion carries, so it is so amended. So now I'm going to call the question on the bill. This is raise the age, substitute for, or House Bill 272. We're voting on LC 480375S. There has been a move and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you so much, committee members. We are adjourned.